Alô? Impressão minha? A câmera tá mais pra lá. Melhorou, né? E aí, rapaziada, boa noite, como é que vocês estão? Como é que foi o fim de semana? Sábado a gente teve um problema. Começou a chover muito forte aqui. Aí a energia ficou caindo muito. Então eu resolvi por encerrar a live do que ter que ficar arriscando alguma coisa aqui com o computador. Mas é isso. O resto do domingo foi tranquilo. E agora estamos aqui. Hoje não teve ninguém na academia me atrapalhando para poder chegar aqui mais tarde e jantar mais tarde. E começar a live mais tarde. Pois bem, bora continuar nossa jogatina aqui. Eu acho que a gente já tá zerando o jogo. Eu acho. Assim, em questão de quest, né? Porque ainda tem os pontos de interesse pra explorar, mas acho que não vou fazer isso em live não. Aí seria o 100% do jogo, né? Acho que vai ficar de conteúdo pra quando eu quiser jogar à toa. Até porque ainda tem as expansões pra sair, né? A gente acabou de fazer a quest do cavalo do Von Burgle. Eu queria pegar aquele cavalo pra mim, mas paciência, né? O que a galera de Malechov me odeia? O que eu fiz lá? Emboscada.
We're under attack! Curva! What the? your grave! Stand and fight, arsehole!
Rapaz, mas foi flash, hein? Cachorro foi, né?
Mert! Oh, he's run off again, the little beast.
Vou deixar vocês se entendendo aí. A galera toda aqui deve ensinar alguma skill, né?
I heard you fought in the Battle of Kosovo. Is that true?
Why wouldn't it be?
I heard it was a horrible massacre, and there were no survivors.
Horseshit, lad. That's just horseshit. It was a massacre. Aye. A terrible slaughter. But the other side lost many men as well.
So how did it happen? Tell me. I don't think I can quite imagine such a massive battle. How many soldiers were there?
Countless, lad. I'd never seen so many take the field. At least 10,000 men on our side. And Sultan Murad must have had at least twice as many with him.
So how did the battle go?
Lord forgive me, but it went to shit.
Could you be more specific?
Specific? Well, I only know what people said after the battle. When you're in the midst of it, you don't see what's happening around you.
Which was?
Well, it's hard to describe. Attacks are followed by retreats, and between that, only fatigue and dust.
So what happened?
When the battle began, the Serbian cavalry crushed the Turkish left flank. It looked good for us, but alas, that was just the beginning. Soon, we got ours too. We fought valiantly, but they pushed us back, and in the meantime, they hit our center. The Sultan's Janissaries attacked us there. Damn devils, and raised all hell. Rivers of blood soaked the ground.
How could you survive something like that?
You can't give up, and death isn't an option. But then a rumor spread that Prince Lazar had fallen, and everything began to crumble. But he was a tough old warrior of the Nemanjic royal blood. He wouldn't give up just like that. With an arrow in his eye, he climbed his horse and rode straight for the Sultan. Well, that's how he saved us. The battle then lasted until evening. But no one had the strength to force the enemy to retreat.
And where did you fight?
Or in the saddle. I'm a nobleman, after all. But I lost 3 horses under me. So in the end, I also fought on foot. Most of us mercenaries were on the left flank, under the command of Vladko Vukovic. But he soon got wounded, and the men began to flee. I mean, if it wasn't for Nicholas Gabriel, we wouldn't be talking here today.
And who was that?
The commander of our company. A born warrior, and a good friend. In fact, Zhishka reminds me of him a bit sometimes. In any case, the fact that Gabriel had taken a command at that point meant our flank did not buckle, and the Ottoman rabble did not cut us to pieces as we fled.
So who won in the end?
The battle lasted all day, and in the end no one knew who had won, because both sides left the field. Only later did we find out. Prince Lazar had fallen there alongside all his Serbian nobility. Still later came the news that Lazar had been captured and executed by the Turks the day after the battle.
They executed a prince.
Aye. They beheaded him, because someone had slit their sultan's throat like a piglet.
So you didn't win?
It's hard to say. We held our own against the odds and survived. Only without their prince, it was just a matter of time before Serbia fell into the new Ottoman Sultan's lap. Fortunately, I didn't stick around to see it. All the same, even as I'm telling it, it strikes me what an adventure it was. I suppose time heals all kinds of shit. In the end, you forget the bad things. And yet, I can only thank God that Nicholas Gabriel was there.
You're a captain?
Aye, him. We actually became friends of sorts. He even taught me one of his sword tricks.
He did?
Aye, really. I could even show you sometime. A memory of the good man who saved my arse on that day.
Would you show me the swordsmanship technique Commander Nicholas taught you back in Kosovo?
Well, why not? I'd be happy to show it to you. But whether you understand it is up to you. Oh, at any rate, you need to be quick and thorough. Because for once, you aren't attacking the head directly, but rather the opponent's sword. When you knock it aside, you open up space for a deadly blow. Now come and try it a few times.
Maravilha, me ensinando de graça.
Hey, Mutt?
Rossano. Cima, esquerda, esquerda, direita.
Ale!
Ela não me mostrou com qual arma. Bom, espada provavelmente, né? Tô sem espada longa. Falta uma técnica de espada longa. Eu desconfio que seja com o Nali. Lá em Sevinha. A gente perdeu. Putz. Triste. Espero que eu tenha outra forma de conseguir essa skill. Esse combo. O que você ensina?
God be with you. What would you like?
What do you have for sale?
Vou fazer uma parada.
I'd like to discuss the price.
Very well.
Satisfied?
You won't convince me with this. Aye, that'll do. Glad to be of help to you, good sir.
You boy, my savior! You free me from stocks. I never forget this. Janos will repay you.
Nah, don't mention it. I don't want anything for that.
What? You don't want to even hear what I offer?
All right. I'm all ears. I'm listening.
Really?
Aye, really.
You want my sausage? You never find better.
What are you blabbering about? What sausage?
Proper one. Full of goodness. Maybe not smell so good, but taste good when you hold nose.
Please tell me you're talking about food.
Yeah, I talk about sausage. What else? Janos's sausage. Ah, I see. You think I means big, huge salami in my hose, eh? He's not for just anybody. Me? I am decent Christian.
I'll take it.
You will not be sorry. Come back when it is nice and firm. It melt in your mouth. You see?
Firm? Well, all right. What'd you do before they locked you up?
What do you think? I steal food. You know that, hey? Ah, you mean before, like back. I was locked up then.
Oh, I see you're one lucky bloke. Also for food.
No, because of war. They take me prisoner. Want to chop my head off, but then find out I am a cook.
You're a cook?
No, but they not know that. So they lock me up in Castle on Rap.
And what did you cook for them? Sauerkraut?
Lucky there was Serbian cook there. He teach me everything. If you no have blue blood, being cook is not bad, eh?
And how did it all turn out?
Cook catch plague and die. Me? I escape back to Bohemia.
Teach me something then. Maybe it'll come in handy.
It will take some time, but you give me some coin, and I teach you what you want.
Arma pesada avançada.
What about that axe of yours? Show me a few tricks with it.
That is not just axe. That is Fokos. Belonged to my grandfather.
Really?
Nah, I make fun. But where I from, even old women carry in basket. It wild place there.
Interesting. Teach me to fight with it.
We start. What is this? Pfui, just stupid grass.
Quem mais que tem de instrutor aqui? Então o diabo seco. Será que ele vai me ensinar mais alguma coisa? Acho que eu aprendi tudo com ele já.
I'd like to learn from a master.
Where's that wine? Or should I write it down in your diary so you'll remember it?
Again?
Always!
All right. Here you go.
Ready. What is it you want, then?
I want to see what you can do with a mace.
Ha ha! Good choice. It's better than a sword when you're up close. All right then. I'll show you a few devilish tricks.
Tem arma de haste ainda. Imitação não precisa não, é só praticar com o cavalo, é de boa.
I'd like to learn from a master.
You got that wine for me?
All right. Here you go.
Ready. What is it you want then?
I need to get better at defending myself with a polearm.
That weapon's not worth shite. Well, except in a few cases when it's saved my skin. All right then. I'll show you a few devilish tricks.
Valeu.
Here you go. Take it. Aye, come here.
Calma aí, cachorro. Não preciso fazer isso também não, cara. Ignorante. Tava pensando em procurar umas peças de armadura nas lojas aqui, mas acho que eu vou deixar pra fazer isso offline qualquer dia desse. As lives já são curtas, né? Não perder tempo com isso não.
God be with you, Henri.
And with you, Sir Vaculin. Sir Vaculin, you've had an exciting life. Tell me some stories.
Bien sûr. Your interest is gratifying and quite understandable.
Where does the name Brabant come from?
That is simple. My compatriots call me that because I am originally from Brabant province. And, the name stuck. One day, I shall tell you about my place of birth, but I am sure you will long to hear about the conquest of Arezzo, yes? Or would you rather hear how I saved the King of France from certain death?
Arezzo sounds interesting.
And so it was. That is where I earned my knighthood from the great Enguerrand de Concy himself, the commander of our Naples campaign. Enguerrand arranged his forces for battle, and I was put in charge of one of the cavalry units. Out of nowhere, the enemy appeared on our unprotected flank, and Enguerrand set me to hold them back so our main force could regroup. but I saw a gap in the enemy's main phalanx. I sounded the charge and sped forwards.
Wasn't that rather risky?
Un chevalier français fears nothing.
I reckon King Sigismund would think otherwise after Constantinople.
That was completely different. Alors, I caught them by surprise. I hacked my way to their standard and broke through all the way to the enemy's reservoirs. My attack sowed confusions in the enemy's ranks that encouraged the overlords who raced to join me, scattering everything in their path. And that is how we won the famous victory at Arezzo. Seeing that the force that was supposed to protect them had been routed. The city then surrendered to us. No doubt you had no inkling at Maleshov what a knight you had the honor to meet. And of course my feats on the field of battle do not end there.
Eu tô com a impressão que é tudo história.
A bold maneuver.
Quite right. Courage is my middle name. Just as Monsieur Chapon says, Audantes Fortuna Juva. That day I was the bravest of them all and won the day.
So you disobeyed your commander and left your flank exposed. Your attack could have ended in a total fiasco. You were lucky the others came to your assistance and your entire force didn't collapse.
I hear envy speaking, but you are still wet behind the ears. So, I can forgive you. In short, I saw an opportunity and took it. Moments like that can decide entire wars.
What did your commander have to say?
He made me a knight and sent me to the royal court to inform the sovereign of our triumph.
I reckon he wanted to get you out of his hair.
Do not talk nonsense.
E aí, Sakura?
What other feats have you performed in battle?
Oh, many, mon ami. For one battle does not make a warrior. It would take a week to recount them all, so I will just tell you about my second greatest feat. On the Italian field, we faced John Hawkwood, a ruthless Englishman and a fearsome warrior. Surrounded, we were at his mercy. Night fell, and we knew he would attack at dawn, and that would be it. But just then, Providence put an idea in my mind.
Ele fez outra cagada que deu muito certo por pura sorte.
Well, don't keep me on tenterhooks. Go on.
And observed, I mounted my horse and set off to find help. And, La Dame Chance was exceedingly kind to me that day. As I rode away, by chance, I stepped off of our horses, thinking we were trying to break through. Les Anglais went to head them off. But while the English were occupied with Myceli, our units managed to flee. I saved many men from certain death that night, and many lords from the disgrace of capture. Needless to say, I was generously rewarded for my valor.
That is indeed incredible. But you were just trying to flee, weren't you?
I wanted to bring reinforcements, but as I say, I merely follow Providence, and she guides my steps, from triumph to triumph, wherever I go. Stick close to me, Henri, and Providence will favor you too.
Cara, é um bom contador de história, velho.
How did you save the King of France?
With Providence as my guide, mon ami, I came to the court from the field of battle to bring news of our victory, because, and remember this, the bearer of good news is always rewarded and cherished. But the king was in a bad mood and did not wish to be disturbed. Maybe I thought the news of our victory will dispel his ill humor.
How could you tell him if he didn't want to be disturbed?
Ha! I climbed up to his balcony and into his chambers to surprise him with the joyful tidings. And lo and behold, the king was writhing and gasping on the floor, overcome by one of his fits. Wasting not a moment, I dashed over to him and unblocked his throat, thus saving his life. In return, the king bestowed on me the title of a chanson, or cupbearer, and other generous gifts. And I then spent a while in his service at court. Unfortunately, though, even the king's favor does not last forever, and minor mistakes can come to overshadow good deeds.
Tem essa, rapaziada, tem essa. Só quem estiver aí me ouvindo puder dar aquele F5 pra voltar a contabilizar o view. Eu agradeço. Falha eu carregar módulo. Legal. Boa noite, falei Robson. Cadê o processo do Kingdom Come que tá rodando ainda? Bizarro. E aí, Turupão? Tudo bom. O jogo acabou de crashar o OBS, que crashou o drive de vídeo, que crashou o jogo, crashou a live, enfim. Aquele drama de sempre. Tem que fazer um monte de coisa de novo, velho. Putz. Bom que agora é só skipar diálogo. Ainda assim, uma chateação. Já pensou em skipar a live de Kingdom Come? Agora que eu tô no final do jogo?
I heard you. Well,
But
so how many?
count at least.
So how?
Specific.
Which? So what?
So this.
How could?
But he without the back.
Where?
I mean,
And who?
the come and Eddie.
So who?
Only still.
They ex.
Aye.
So
It's only all this, and yet
you're a
aye,
He did.
aye, a memory.
Please show.
Why? Oh, when you now.
Where'd you...
It's the myth, but
Aqui também a gente já fez. Já foi. Enfim, agora tá fase de cogitação, pô. Já estamos. Eu acho que já estamos chegando no final do jogo. Terminar. Voltei, e aí, Sakura? O live deu uma caidinha.
Aye, come here. Here you go. Take it.
Filthy again. Damn it.
Good morning, son.
Good morning. All right.
Grand, my friend. Thanks for asking.
I'd like to... Where again?
Always!
All right. I want to...
All right.
I'd like to learn from...
You got...
All right.
Ready.
I need to...
All right.
You.
Yeah. I'm listening.
Real.
Aye.
You.
What?
Prop.
Please.
Yeah. Hey. You.
Fur... What'd you...
What?
Oh.
No.
You're a cook?
No.
And what did you...
Like if you
How did it...
cook,
Teach me.
it will. But it,
What about...
that is
Really?
nah, it will.
Interesting.
Waste. Hey, Chuchorietki. Where are you hiding?
Novidades, Wallace? O monitor ainda não chegou não. Pensei que fosse chegar hoje, não chegou ainda não.
Survive. Where did...
That one. Oh,
A rat?
thanks. I'll get out, but I. That. Hello. My hand. No doubt.
Thank...
I just.
What a...
No, it would. On the surround, but.
Wow.
And as I. But I.
Thank...
I just. I came because. But the. Maybe I.
How...
And wasting not a moment, I dashed over to Henry in front.
Vai usar um pro chat? Não, vou usar um pra enxergar. Futuramente vai ter um segundo monitor.
What happened at court that led to you being out of favor?
Well, perhaps I shall tell you some of
Como
time.
assim? Ah, eu não
Would you not
mostrei
rather
como que
hear
tá a
about the
situação desse aqui não?
glorious duel between
Quer dizer, eu
Legris
mostrei,
and
você não viu
Gauche?
não? O dia que eu mostrei? Deixa eu ver se tá aqui ainda. Tá aqui. Esse aí é o meu monitor. Entendeu o porquê da vaquinha?
Tell me what happened at court that caused you to lose favor.
Ah, a major
Mas
setback
graças à
and
ajuda de
gross
vocês eu
injustice,
consegui
mon ami.
comprar um monitor.
It is an
Deve chegar
unhappy memory,
amanhã.
because it was the first time that La Dame Chance abandoned me.
It's nothing to be ashamed of. We
Então
can
a
all learn
imagem
from
que a
our
gente vê
failures.
não é a que
And I
você
bet
vê.
even your failures make for great
Definitivamente não, porque eu não
stories.
vejo.
Oui, that is certainly true. Very well then. I suffered a combination of misfortunes all at once. But bad luck in business and on a hunt were the worst of all.
Quando o ambiente tá assim, eu consigo enxergar. Saca? Agora, quando escurece, aí acabou. A parte escura ali do monitor é o que eu enxergo.
Luckery and Cargouche. Sounds like a pair of jesters.
En aucun cas. Jacques le Gris and Jean de Carouge. These two great knights were in a legal dispute over an estate. But above all, when de Carouge was on a campaign, Le Gris fornicated with his wife. She claimed that he had raped her, while he said he had seduced him. And because everyone swore to their own truth on the Bible, the matter
Passou um
had to be
tempão com a
settled by
TV ruim
combat.
também. Deixa eu ver se acha foto.
First, they jousted. Then they fought on foot with sword and axe. Le Gris thought victory was in his grasp, but de Carouge suddenly pounced on him, wrested him to the ground.
Pera aí, deixa eu tirar aqui a pré-visualização para pesar menos. O meu chat no OBS crashou e não quer voltar não. Mas eu não leio vocês pelo OBS mesmo, então.
And beat him so terribly that he knocked off his helmet and cuirass. Even so, Le Gris refused to admit his guilt, and de Carouge drove a dagger through his neck. And if you promise not to tell, I will let you into a secret about that dagger.
Tell me the secret. I promise I'll keep it to myself.
Bien. As I say, de Carouge killed Le Gris with a dagger. And I found that dagger in the mud after the duel. A blessed blade, an instrument of divine justice. The dagger that ended the last trial by combat France ever witnessed. An item of great value. So, I had several copies made and sold them to rich French noblemen.
Que bicho
That is how
charlatão,
I
velho.
first came into wealth. And I used the coin to buy the horse and armor I needed to set off in pursuit of glory in battle.
Azar é dele, tu nem queria mesmo. Eu não queria mesmo.
Ah, that was a good idea. I'd never have thought of that.
You still have a lot to learn, mon ami. But you're young, you have plenty of time. Just keep your mind and eyes open, like I did. It was one of the greatest things I ever saw, and I have seen a lot. Believe me. Half of France came to watch, including the king himself, who then banned trial by combat in France forever. I later told the story to anyone who was interested. One of my listeners, a certain Froissart, wrote my icon down and became famous. I could have written it myself, of course, but I am happy to help others find success.
A título de curiosidade, quanto tempo tua TV monitor está assim? Cara, é como eu falei, mano. Quando eu voltei a usar a TV como monitor, ela já tava com uma falhazinha no canto. Mas era pequenininha. Era uma área desse tamanho assim, ó. Pareceu o boneco do Among Us. Tá ligado? Desse tamanhozinho assim. Aí foi aumentando e virou isso aí. Mas antes disso ela ficou muito tempo parada, desligada. Só ligava quando o meu sobrinho vinha aqui passar um tempo, que aí ele trazia o videogame e jogava nela. Saca? Aí meu outro monitor antes dessa TV deu problema, aí eu precisei usar a TV. Sempre usou ela nas lives? Não, eu tinha um outro monitor antes. Aí é monitor, monitor mesmo. Só que ele também já era bem velho. Ele ainda era sub-D. Eu usava um adaptador HDMI aqui pra ligar na placa, na GPU. Eu acho que... Acho que no meu quarto ou quinto mês de live, eu já tinha trocado o monitor pra TV. Fez um ano, né? Estão desistindo da vida dos monitores. Cara, a real é que periféricos, os meus, caixa de som, até um tempo atrás mouse e teclado, monitor, eram todos muito velhos. Saca? A caixa de som ainda é. Ela hoje em dia ela funciona mais como um rádio do que como uma caixa de som. Eu tenho que achar a parte que ela sintoniza que o som sai bom. Minha caixa de som é muito velha. Mas ela é boa, saca? Durou anos. Essa caixa de som aqui, ela passou por uns 3 PC meu, cara. Se não mais. Eu peguei essa caixa de som, ou eu tava terminando o ensino médio, ou eu tava no curso técnico. Isso tem muitos anos. A durou, tá? Começou a dar problema ano retrasado. Durou. Muito boa. Se passa a caixa de som é mais velha que meu sobrinho, cara. Meu sobrinho tá com acho que 18, 19 anos. A caixa de som acho que é mais velha que ele. Se fosse ruim, tu não teria ainda. É, exatamente. A durou. Se não fosse ela tá virando o rádio, dava pra deixar de herança pros meus filhos. Tá ligado? Mas agora virou radinho. O botão de volume é, assim, é a frequência, tá ligado? Você achar o volume que funciona nos dois lados da caixa. Não funciona só o lado direito. Fazer um museu com ela. É. Fazer um altarzinho, pô. Depois que comprar outra, pegar ela, guardar bonitinha. Uma caixa de vidro, botar em display. Essa bichinha aqui tem história, filho. Mesma coisa essa TV, cara. Essa TV também é velha, pô. Eu comprei essa TV, eu jogava em console ainda, cara. Muito tempo. Pra ver a foto, deixa eu ver aqui, Sakura. Tem que abrir o Discord, eu não abri o Discord hoje. Caraca. Mano. Assim, o problema é diferente, mas lembra muito Não, deixa pra lá, eu ia falar besteira. Não lembra não. Cara, eu tive um monitor que deu esse problema aqui também. Um ano jogando FF assim, caraca, heroína. Não, 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 eu ia comparar com o problema desse monitor aqui, mas não, não é não, é diferente. Pode mostrar a foto em live, Sakura? Pode. Vou botar aqui. Salvar a imagem. Feito. Imagem salva. Vem aqui. A fonte de captura. Imagem. A imagem 2. C. C. Calma, rapaziada. Calma, rapaziada. Calma. Pronto. Esse foi o monitor da Sakura por um ano. Cara, meu penúltimo monitor. Ele teve um problema parecido, só que inverte, né? A parte boa dele era a metade de cima, saca? Aí a parte de baixo ficava com essa falha e às vezes piscava preto. Até que passou um tempo, a metade de baixo começou a ficar igual letreiro, saca? Deslizando a imagem, igual letreiro. Aí bugava a parte de cima. Caraca, velho. Aí eu tive que segurar aquele monitor, tá? Tive que segurar até conseguir pegar um novo. Não tem essa sorte aí, a TV aqui que estragou foi só de Vasco mesmo. Pronto. Participação da Sakura pra live de hoje, a contribuição dela. A imagem do seu finado monitor. Ah, mano. É, mas é assim, cara. É porque aqui. Ah, era uma TV. Beleza, a imagem de sua TV falecida. Aqui em casa a gente usa as coisas até não dá pra usar mais. Saca? Igual esse monitor. Eu só parei de usar quando chegou num ponto que não dava pra ver mais nada nele. Nada. Um amigo que manja deu uma olhada e conseguiu recuperar meia imagem na esquerda. Dava imagem na direita, tela preta. Recuperar meia imagem. Na esquerda dava imagem, na direita, tela preta. Fazer aquelas TV que divide, tá ligado? Passa duas programação. Será que foi pra frente aquilo? Foi nada, né? Não dá certo, mano. Duas pessoas assistir duas coisas diferentes na TV não dá não. Na mesma TV não dá não. É igual duas pessoas falando ao mesmo tempo. Todo mundo fala e ninguém se entende. Nem vejo falar disso, pois é. Anos também, tá? Que eu vi essa propaganda. Enquanto uma pessoa assiste seu programa, a outra consegue assistir o dela na outra metade. Não dá certo. Meu pai abriu a TV e não conseguiu consertar. Levou para manutenção, o orçamento dava para comprar duas TVs. Comprei outra. Comprasse as duas TV.
You were in business?
Of course. I come from Brabant Province, home to the greatest entrepreneur of all. My birthplace gave me an unrivaled nose for corn and the reputation of a financial expert. I was nicknamed the Seer of Louvain, and also the End of Midas. That is, until I persuaded an important nobleman to invest a large sum in maritime trade with Africa. All the ships he bought sank in a tempest. He had to sell off part of his estates to pay off his creditors. Of course, he wrongly blamed me for everything and turned many influential courtiers against me. But my advice was sound. He was simply punished by God for fornicating with every wench from the Pyrenees to Brittany, bragging about it and thus bringing shame on his gentle wife. I told him as much, but some people never admit their mistakes and prefer to blame others.
Nah, you're right. That's why it's better sometimes not to tell the truth, even if
E
it's
o Guinness,
obvious.
cadê?
Wise
Pera aí.
words. Putting right over mistakes is only advisable if it does you no harm.
Olha, eu olhei aqui nos meus bolsos e não
Perhaps,
achei ele não.
when I write my memoir of my travels in my twilight years, I will turn this maritime episode into a play.
Não cabe. É, tem isso também. Tip Viewers. Eu não selecionei o nick não, cara. Tchau. Mentira, sei sim. Quando a caixa de som pode ser problema só no potenciômetro, pode ser que calhe de arrumar. É baratinho. O problema é que eu não sei aqui quem arruma, né, mano? Era propaganda? Era vendedor de bot.
What was the hunting incident?
We were out in the royal hunting grounds when I caught sight of a white stag. There had long been rumors about it, so imagine the prestige I would have gained by getting it. I set off after it, pierced its flank with arrows, and unleashed the
visualizadores
hounds to
baratos.
finish it off. When I arrived, it turned out that my aunt had not killed a stag but the horse of a lady, a court favorite of the queen's. I fell out of her favor, and all the doors became closed to me.
Ah, you were damned unlucky. But that could have happened to anyone, couldn't it?
Quite right. I'm glad you are sensible enough to agree with me. A misfortune like that, which could indeed happen to anyone, would make lesser men roll with laughter. But the other lords were afraid I would outshine them, so they were waiting for a chance to get rid of me. And that chance came along, unfortunately.
Agora entendi porque você parou de jogar FF sem ver as coisas, é muito ruim. Tem isso também.
Tell me about Brabant Province. Is it far from here?
Quite far. From Bohemia, you would go to Bunburg and then follow the river
Eu
Main
tenho que
until it
voltar a
joins the
jogar
Rhone.
FF.
Then you sail down the Rhone until it reaches the sea. And there, between the river and La Flandre, you will find Brabant, with its wealthy cities. Anvers, Bruxelles, Louvain, and many others. But those three cities are the equal of Paris, Rome, or your Prague. Both the Dukes of Burgundy and the Imperial Princes would like to annex our land to theirs, because its flourishing trade has made it rich. But like everywhere else, you can only come into wealth by birth or by enterprise, which is how I did it.
How did you end up here?
Leaving the court with a modest sum, I launched to visit faraway lands. I traveled a lot, spending time in
Mas vendo
various
também é
countries,
ruim. Igual jogo
and
de
having
carteiro,
many
pô.
great adventures. When I learned that l'Empereur Charles, that great friend of France, had built the magnificent city of Prague in Bohème, I had to see it.
So people in foreign countries speak highly of Prague?
Bien sûr. It was abroad that I heard of King Wenceslas' silver city and its reputed vast wealth. I bought the abandoned Miskowitz estates and shares in the Kuttenberg mines. And for a time I settled here to provide for myself and wait for King Wenceslas whom I wished to serve.
Igual não, né?
But
Pior.
even here fate did not let me be. When Sigismund brought his army to the
Joguinho de
city,
carteiro
I
consegue ser
appointed
pior,
myself
cara.
to lead its defense. For
Eu
how
acho isso
better to
incrível.
make King
Feito
Wenceslas
por si
aware
só.
of me than by saving his beloved city? Victory was assured, but the burghers had other ideas. The city was handed over to the enemy, and I with it, stripped of my possessions. I languished in captivity, until fate again stepped in by sending you to Malishov.
Sir Vaclin, I'm surprised how well you speak our language. Where did you learn it?
Where do you think? Here, of course. Ce n'était même pas difficile. Perhaps I have already mentioned that I am guided by Providence. She endowed me with many talents, mastery of language among them. I can communicate almost everywhere in a word, and learn every new tongue in a trice. I now speak French, German, Italian, Latin, Hungarian, and Czech. Some English, though. That is only a necessary evil.
Thanks for sharing your stories with me, Sir Vaclin. What do you think of our band of outcasts?
Well, I cannot say I expected to end up in this kind of company. I am more used to royal courts or, at least, wealthy burghers. But a man must accept his destiny as it comes.
What do you think of Zizka?
Le Chevalier Jan? Well, he's not doing badly for a minor nobleman, but I think he will never be accepted among the higher nobles and knights. That takes a lot more. Mark my words. I am a good judge of people.
I can't get Catherine out of my head. I don't understand her. I'm sure you have more experience of love than me. What do you make of her? Why is she with us?
Ah, you're right. I am a connoisseur of love like I am of wine. But for my taste, Mademoiselle Catherine is of somewhat aged vintage. Though, I have to admit she's full-bodied and fragrant.
That's not really what I meant. Why is a woman like her with us?
Là est la question. I had the feeling something terrible happened to her in the past.
So do I. But what?
I have no idea. But she is fond of you, if you ask me. Try asking her, and maybe something will come of it. L'amour.
Oh, come on.
I am a good judge of people, trust me. L'amour.
What do you think of Sir Hynek?
Ah, le diable sec. A capable chevalier. But I do not trust him. There is treachery in his eyes.
You think so?
My instinct rarely lets me down.
How do you get on with Janosch and Adder?
Oh, those two. Once in Kuttenberg, I also had a servant who pretended not to understand me and thought I did not understand him when he spoke German in my presence. But he was wrong. He is no longer my servant.
How do you get on with Sir Hans?
Oh, young Lord Chapon may be inexperienced and hot-headed at times, but he's one of the few here who knows how to play chess. And I have a great respect for chess players. Needless to say, he has not managed to beat me yet. Godwin and Jiska can also play. And that devil in press clothing beat me. Merde.
Have you met Godwin?
The priest who is very skilled with a sword. Priests should not be such good swordsmen. That is what knights like me are for. In addition, he can play chess just as well as he wields a sword. And in drinking wine, he
Falei
makes
do
even the
Guine que tá
best
abrindo o live, ele
Frenchman.
te ouviu.
A man of talents. Or perhaps the devil is behind it.
Have you had the chance to meet my half-brother yet?
Samuel, it is strange that he joined our group. It is not usual for his people. But he's certainly a good reinforcement.
What do you think of Kubienka?
A good warrior. But he has no morals and no manners, like all mercenaries.
Well, I don't think he cares much about that.
And that is just the problem. How can you trust a man who does not want to be a knight?
Tell me, how did the siege of Kuttenberg go?
Ah, mon ami, poorly, poorly. But what could I do? Stand down from leading the defense like a coward? After all, I had to live up to my reputation. And at the time, it did not look hopeless at all. I thought it would be enough to stall Sigismund for a while before the Allied army arrived. And that would not have been so difficult.
Only no army arrived.
Précisément. The hope for a swift end melted away, and the courage of the burghers along with it. I, who fought in 5 countries, was relieved of command, arrested, and handed over to Sigismund.
What other countries have you fought in?
In Italy, against the English, here of course, and I will tell you about the others another time. In the meantime, however, I can pass on some of my experience to you. After all, I am not getting any younger, so it is time to pass my wisdom on to future generations.
I'd like to learn.
It will take some time, and a few groschen, mon ami. Acquiring my art came at great cost, so I cannot pass it on for free. Especially now, when I have been unjustly stripped of my possessions, and I must rely only on my sharp wits. Ainsi va le destin. So, what would you like to know?
Arma de aspas. Ele é aprendiz em tudo. Oh, um charlatão mesmo.
As a knight, you must know how to fight with a polearm as well.
Certainement, but not with a halberd or some other farm implement. Such things are good only for les Anglais. I would only ever use a proper pole axe. 6 feet long, with a blade top with a spike, for piercing heavy armor. Only such a pole arm is worthy of a knight, and I shall demonstrate why. Allons-y, mon ami. Let us not waste any time.
Cadê o cara? Sumiu. Volta aqui, rapaz. Terminei não.
You have a kind... Hey, doggy?
I'd like to learn something.
It will take some time, and a few groschen, mon ami. Acquiring my art came at great cost, so I cannot pass it on for free. Especially now, when I have been unjustly stripped of my possessions. So, what would you like to know?
Sir Vaclin, no doubt you're a master of melee weapons, but are you good with a bow?
Am I good with a bow, mon ami? You should see me hunt in the forest of Ardennes. I once hit a bison in the eye at 200 paces. You will never be that good, of course, but I will show you how to do it. And I think, with my instruction, you should manage it at perhaps 80 paces. Allons-y, mon ami. Let us not waste any time.
Henry?
And what can I get for you?
Greetings, Sam. I'd like to learn something.
It will take some time, and acquiring more, especially now. So,
Baron Brabant, tell me a little about the world beyond the borders of our little country.
mon ami, the world is so big and there is so much to tell, but you want to hear only a little? What to choose from that inexhaustible fount of wisdom? Ah, je sais. Opportunity is like a ladder. You must seize it with both hands, climb to the top, and knock it down behind you. Remember that, jeune Henri? And now, let me give you another piece of wisdom. Allons-y, mon ami. Let us not waste any time.
Good doggy, good boy.
Acho que foi todo mundo do instrutor, né? Salvar, né? Do estalajador.
What would you like, friend?
Show me your wares.
E vende as calças. Obrigado.
A word about the price.
Very well.
Do you accept?
You won't convince me with this.
What would you say to this?
You won't convince me with this. Aye, you'll convince me with that price. Thank you, sir. And come again.
I bring bad news from Kuttenberg. Eric's soldiers and the town rabble have torched the Jewish quarter. Fortunately, we saved most of the people. But I doubt they can form an alliance with us now.
Fuck. Where are they now?
Samuel and the rabbi took those who survived to Colleen.
Shit. We have to find Dry Devil and Capon and decide what to do next. Come on, there's no time to waste. Right, gentlemen. I think it's clear to all of you what a shitty fucking mess we're in. We were caught off guard at Rabosh.
And they nearly fucking kill us all.
Yes, and they attacked the Jewish quarter.
Thanks a lot for reminding me. I almost forgot.
At least Henry here and Kubienka got most of the people out.
That's true. Good work, men. How did it all go down?
To tell the truth, we were lucky as hell. We got there before it all started in earnest. That's why we managed to get those people out.
Lucky my arse. We gave those bastards a thrashing. They thought they'd loot and torch the whole place, but we scared them shitless.
It is nice that you found my people's suffering so entertaining. But what I want to know now is how you all intend to avenge them.
Well, what do you have in mind?
We shouldn't give up. That's the main thing.
Except that Sigismund has the League of Lords and a whole fucking army. And what do we have? Fuck all! Come on, lads. Jobst will bring his army soon. It'd be fucking mad to try on anything big before that.
It might take weeks for them to arrive. Von Bergov will have found and caught us by then. We have to get rid of Von Bergov. It's because of him that we're in the situation we're in, after all.
You mean in the shit, Sir Hans? No need to mince words.
Von Bergov's too powerful. We don't stand a chance against him. But it was Eric who led the attack on the Jewish quarter. He's the one we should strike at.
But that wouldn't do us much good. Besides, who knows where the bastard is now? No, Sir Hans is right. We should get rid of von Bergov.
That fucker is Sigismund's right hand. So we'll chop it off.
Why kill him? You know what ransom we can get for that bastard.
Are you all fucking daft? Von Berger was holed up in Malashov, so unless any of you can fly, we can't get to him.
Oh, that's true. To take a cost like that, we'd need a dozen men, ladders, and maybe also a trebuchet or cannon.
There's no maybe about it. We'd certainly need a cannon.
So we steal the one von Bergov, use at Nebakov.
Well, why don't we just steal all the silver from the Italian court and buy our own, eh? Use your head before you open your mouth.
Hang on. Maybe Janosch's idea isn't all that bad.
How do you mean?
I recently sent Catherine to spy on Sigismund's military camp near Opatovitz. She told me von Bergov has his cannon stashed away there. But it seems things are getting a bit out of hand there. So the Prague regiment he's in charge of is going to move it to Sedlets. And it might not be that well guarded along the way.
So we'll steal it, right? We'll wait till they go through some ravine, and we'll shoot at them from the rocks. The way you did to us before Nebakov.
I see you've learned something from me. But it's not that simple. What we need is for one of us to get amongst the Pragas, so he can keep an eye open and tell us when they're moving out.
And if we succeed, what then? There's 5.5 of us. Even with a cannon, that's not enough to take Malashov.
There's not much we can achieve on our own.
But show me the fool who'd want to join us.
There's always a few mercenaries around, right?
And how are you going to pay them, eh? I sure as fuck haven't got the coin.
That's enough! Von Bergov has to die. Painfully, and above all, as soon as possible. And if there are not enough of you, this might help.
Well, well. That's a sight for sore eyes. Why the fuck didn't you show us that earlier? We could have saved ourselves a lot of blathering.
Where did you get such a fortune? After what happened?
People in Kolin decided to help. They are looking after our refugees and want to send everyone a strong signal that we will not be silenced.
So that's why you were so eager to go there.
We really appreciate it, son. Believe me.
And we won't mind if you got a couple of more purses like that.
If you will permit, monsieur, I might be able to contribute. I know a few mercenaires in this part. They may not be la cavalerie royale, but for such a purse, they will gladly tear Malashov down stone by stone.
Ah, a company of mercenaries, a surprise attack, and a cannon in reserve. We could do something with that, couldn't we?
No, not so fast. We don't have the cannon yet.
Then we'll fucking get it. We'll find a good spot for an ambush and send someone into the camp to spy on them. What about you, Henry? You'll get yourself recruited into the Prague regiment, and when they take the cannon to Sedlitz, you'll send us a message via Catherine.
Escolher a opção do simpão.
I was afraid you'd never ask. I can just see the look on von Bergov's face when we point his own cannon straight at it.
That's settled then. Henry will go to the camp. Catherine will tell you all you need to know. You'll find her in the bathhouse there. In the meantime, Adit here can go to Malashov and find out how von Burkov and his people are stationed there. But look, don't touch.
Za kogo ty mnie kurwa masz?
A lot of soldiers need a lot to eat. They'll have to stock up.
I'll go hunting. This tavern's a bit crammed for my liking as it is.
And what are we going to do?
We're going to prepare a warm welcome for the Pragas.
What do you say, Sir Hinek?
Well, what the fuck are you all sitting here for? Didn't you hear? The fun's about to start!
Henry, come here. I need to talk to you. Henry, you have no idea how glad I am to see you alive and all in one piece. I was really worried about you. I prayed to Our Lady the Protector to watch over you in Kuttenberg. It's good she heard my pleas.
Thanks for putting in a good word. It definitely came in handy, because it wasn't nice at all. Lots of violence and death, countless foes. We could have easily kicked the bucket any moment.
God damn! What happened there?
I don't know if words are enough. Simply... it was just like Skalitz. Confusion, screaming, dying, and then the flames. The worst part came when the gate fell. It was as if the bloody gates of perdition opened for a moment, and hell surged into the world.
God protect us! God damn it! I should have gone there too. I could have been some use at least.
I'm always glad to fight by your side, but you wouldn't have changed anything there. There were too many of them. And when the whole street was thronged, there was no stopping it. All we could do was try to hold back Eric's people as long as possible, so the locals could flee to the synagogue. See, there's a hidden tunnel inside it, leading out of the city.
Fucking tunnels! Ugh. But thank Christ for them. What about Liechtenstein?
He's fine. And he managed to get those mysterious documents of his out. He left with the survivors for Colleen.
Praise God. He's from an old and glorious house. It would be a dreadful pity if he got left behind. The main thing is you got out. I was afraid I wouldn't be able to thank you properly for coming to Malashov for me.
No need to thank me.
I beg to disagree, my brave and faithful companion. First and foremost, be it known that if you should ever similarly find yourself in captivity, I swear before our Lord Jesus Christ that I shall come for you as you came for me. And secondly, I have something here for you. A truly knightly reward for your knightly deed. A hunting bow that has no equal in the province. I hope it'll brighten your thoughts after all those horrors. It can fell the mightiest buck deer and enchant many a doe. And besides, it has attached to it an enlightening history.
I'm honored. Thank you, friend. Just a moment. This bow looks familiar. I believe I saw it among Margrave Yob's things.
Good heavens. You really don't miss anything, do you? When I found out that Yobs would gladly leave me locked up, it got my blood up. So, to pay him back, I relieved him of the bow in Raborsh. And it was immediately clear to me that that bow should go to none other than you.
And that is certainly... just, I'd say.
I knew we'd see eye to eye. It'd be great to try that bow out right away. We could ride out together on the hunt. Wine, bacon, wine, the deep woods, a quiver full of arrows, wine, shoot some deer and celebrate with wine, like we used to do back home.
We only went hunting together once.
Yeah, but it was memorable. Don't tell me you wouldn't like to do it again. Because, as you yourself heard, there's no reasonable mission here for the noble lord of Leiper and Perkstein. So all I can do is head to the woods and make sure we don't die of hunger here. You'll come with me, right? We promised Shishka some meat, after all.
Ah, prometeu foi você, man. Tá bom. Não, eu tinha que partir pro acampamento, né? Mas tecnicamente ele é o meu Lorde, então... Bom.
That's a good idea, actually. Where should we go?
I found this great spot in the forest near Bohunjevitz, an abandoned hunter's camp. I thought you might like to come with me, have a drink, chat, and do some hunting. What's more, it's on the way to Sigismund's camp.
Tá bom.
Let's go then.
Great!